Everybody, it's your boy Mark and I'm the UFC fan here, and you know what it is. It's the daily update Man United news, guys, and it's going to be a short, brief one. Just a little bit of talking points that I went over with my buddy Drex yesterday. Just wanted to hear your views, your thoughts, your comments as we get into this. It's not one of those things where it's straight up and straightforward. It's just been one of those weeks where Glazernomics. The news has just been one of those things that keep twisting and twisting. I feel like they're just trying to play on the mindset of all United fans. And it's one of those things where, it's unheard of. So many reports. Is this just back to Glazernomics as usual? Is Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos really getting the power to control football? Or are the Glazers still being here are the ones who remain in control? As we seen earlier this week, there's been announcements that the Glazers block the appointment of Blanc as CEO. And this has sent shockwaves through the fan base because, we expected a change. We expected Ineos to be given full control over sporting direction, and now they cannot do it because there's no Blanc. We still are stuck with John Murtaugh. How are we going to sign players and save money on transfers and negotiate better if we keep the same failures in office? Glazers again, guys, and this is the problem I've been telling fans about. This is why I was not too keen on the 25%. People think I'm against change, but I'm not against change. I want change. 100% change. The same performance we expect from the players on the field wearing that Manchester United badge is the same performance I want from the owners. 100%. And this is very disappointing, guys. Very disappointing for me, guys. Very disappointing. And the reports are that Sofian Amrabat is set to leave Manchester United, guys. The loan set to be terminated. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new. Touch the notification bell so you can see when I'm live. Trying to be on time. No more Trini time, unless Bestie's in the chat. Guys, hope you're having a good morning. Let's get into this really quickly. Let's go. And guys, you know how it is. Getting in right in it as we know it. Stephanie Griffith, big up to you. Thank you for being here. Always first. Ran out of milk. Soon be back with the cup of tea. That's okay. I got my cup of tea right here. Take a sip. It tastes so good this morning. Dyer to Bayern. Compost. Maybe they're building an English core at the Bayern team to win the league. I don't know. But, Kieran Dyer to me has been past his prime for the longest while. That's all I'm going to say about that. Tuchel might have a crazy streak in him. This is something I was worried about. Thankfully, he was not signed as Man United coach. The Glazers are in full control. I told you all this. We have been played. Compost, 100%, my bro, 100%. Does Mick have the Ineos PR guy Paul on again today? Man, I don't think so. Paul is pretty good, You want to know something? I have a lot of respect for Paul. Paul has the insight to the way the business works, the way these people tend to work. He kind of thinks on those lines, and where he might seem that he favors the Ineos move over the Qatar move for whatever reasons, I won't be mad at him for that. As a matter of fact, everyone's entitled to have their opinion and favor who they want. I favor Qatar move because it was 100% full sale, and I know that meant no more Glazers. You know what I mean? So in that regards, I could be said to be wrong. I could said to have backed the wrong horse. since Sir Jim ended up winning, and the 25% is what we have. Yeah, I heard that bit on a space, and I was like laughing. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, as long as Joe Glazer is part of the trio, the Glazers are Nomican. You know what I mean? These Glazers, they don't really. For me, I can't blame them, since they own the club for the last 18 years, for not caring now that as much as they cared then. You know what I mean? Or not caring any more now than they cared then, to be fair. But at the same time, I would say that, I wish they would just have hired the right people for the job, hired better people, footballing people all along, because at the end of the day, owners are owners. They're always going to be eccentric or whatever they are. Whoever, it's not really something I think that fans should really care about. It's not like if, they liking us or we liking them is going to matter, as long as the team is performing well, winning games, and the best people are working in the job. So this is why they failed on many fronts, in my opinion. And I think, they're still going to fail. We need to get them out. It's the only way we're going to have that fresh start, that reset. And to be honest, I think it's really time, guys, that we really come together as a fan base, set aside all our differences, whether we like a player, we dislike a player, whether we want Mason Greenwood back or we don't, and, you know, get the army and let's fight the Glazers, because now they're seven. They were six before, now they're seven, guys. In my honest opinion, they're seven now. And they are stronger with that seven than they were before with six. And now we need to show them that we have our voices are the loudest as Manchester United fans. You know what I mean? There's 500 plus million of us worldwide. Come on, guys. We could crowdfund and buy this team if we really wanted. If we were really serious as fans, we could appoint our own CEO, our own DOF, and crowdfund and buy this team. And that's my word, guys. It's possible. But will fans be willing to, set aside their wants, their own ideologies, and come together as one team against the Glazers? That's something left to be seen. And as I get into the topics right now, guys, Sofian Amrabat, loan to be terminated. Guys, get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Some of you this might come as a shock to you all. To me, it's something that I kind of expected after the first couple games of his performances. I think he was okay, but from watching him, the time I've been watching the Serie A, and that's been for the last 8 years or more. I've been watching Serie A every single season. I just think that he's a decent player, but not at the level of Manchester United. And I like him as a player, but I just think he was not the right fit for us. I think maybe we needed someone with a little bit more mobility, a little bit more grit, and I think Sofian has not caught up to the pace of the Premier League. He's had one or two good games, but it's more or less, for me, he seems more clumsy and giving away tackles and stuff. He gave away a lot of cards, a lot of fouls, and some bad marking situations. I always just thought that he was a bit too sluggish for the league, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So bad decisions, guys. Bad decisions again. Like, if we had a proper DOF, he probably would have never been a choice for a loan. It's a lot like the Walt Weghorst loan. A lot of people said Walt Weghorst made our team perform well, but at the same time, if we had got a better striker on loan, we scored more goals. You know what I mean? Well, we wasted nearly 10 million on the loan fee. Guys, this is why I was saying, we should have just gone and got Loran, 8 million euros. Some people didn't want the youth. We could have gone and got the young Brazilian, 8 million permanently. Wouldn't have had to spend nearly 10 million on a loan. Guys, it's very disappointing right now. Makes it even harder to be a Manchester United fan in these moments when the club keeps performing like this. And then you look at the players and they're not even, some of them are not trying to be the shining light that they should be. It's just disappointment all around. And of course, I hope that the performances will improve going forward, because I have a lot of trust in the manager. And like Stephanie's saying, we definitely should have got someone like Barella instead and kept Fred. And well, the other moments, get rid of them. You know what I mean? I thought McMoman should have been gone. Maguire should have been gone. They should have other players should have been gone. Like this is a rebuild, and we have not rebuilt. If we keep the same poster boys in our squad for the that was there for the last 4, 5, 6 seasons, 2, 3 managers, how is this a rebuild when they're the same poster boys? You know, it seems to me like this club has gotten all the fans wound up in a web of lies, thinking that, you know what, another manager could get the best out of these players. You know, every time a new manager comes in, the team performs well, and the next season they flop. The problem can't keep being managers. In my opinion, it's like we're following the same principles, making the same choices, and expecting different results every 18 months. How is that working out? How does a big club do that? You know, people say big clubs hire and fire once the level is dropped. Have you seen Real Madrid, guys? Real Madrid hired and fired, and then they got a manager, and that manager was there for what, 5, 6 years. They won a lot. You know what I mean? They had the best players at that time, Zidane. Then they got Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti did well, then he did bad. They fired him. He went to Everton. Then they were doing terribly. They didn't win the league or anything. And Everton wasn't doing so well. You know what? Real Madrid came back and they took Ancelotti back. And now look at Real Madrid. Exactly. Madrid managers don't buy their players. They just coach. But you want to know something that a lot of people don't speak about Real Madrid? Ancelotti suggests some of the players that he wants to get in, and then they do the rest. So, or in my opinion, it's fair for a manager to say, "Well, I like this player, or I want this player. I would like to have this player." But having a footballing mind who's going to do a short list of players, 3 players that are identical in profile, and one might be actually younger, faster, fitter, and a better price, maybe in the sense that he's cheaper than the one the manager likes. And he might come in and do a better job than that guy. And this is what we need. This is what we need. You know what I mean? I'm not going to blame Ten Hag for the players that he got in and whatever. At the end of the day, we already know that he didn't get much of his first choices. You know, like he wanted Frankie De Jong. He never got him. He wanted Julian Timber, and we got Martinez. I mean, Martinez seemed like an upgrade, but at the same time, he wanted Julian Timber. Why did he want Julian Timber? These things are the questions I ask myself. You know, he also wanted Cody Gakpo, didn't get him. Now he's at Liverpool doing really well. When a lot of people were saying Cody Gakpo is another Dutch league player, he's gonna flop, blah blah blah. He's only good in the Dutch league. Now he's playing at Liverpool. Everyone is like Cody Gakpo, Cody Gakpo. You know what I mean? This manager wanted quite a few players that ended up going to some other clubs. This is the reality. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we can blame him for his for the players and his talent ID, but coaches will get it wrong. I mean, Alex Ferguson signed Bebe. We all know how that went. You know what I mean? Rafael Morrison, he was a decent player, but then he never really showed up. You know what I mean? Wasted his career. There are many players that the club is going to sign, managers will sign, and they might not be the right fit and have to be moved on. And that's just the thing with football. I think we place too much emphasis in mistakes sometimes. Sometimes mistakes have to be made so you can learn the right thing and move on and know that this doesn't work. And the fact that you make mistakes in football is because it's a practical thing. It's not theoretical. You can't put players down on paper and expect them to perform well. You know what I mean? On paper, the top players are going to look amazing. You know, this one's rated 99 on FIFA Pro and all these things, and you put together a team and their average rating is what, 95, you expect to beat all the teams with lower average ratings. But then in the real world, it doesn't happen like that. Look, Bayern lost to a third league team, and that third league team went on to beat another Bundesliga League One team in Eintracht Frankfurt, who also beat Bayern 5-1. So it's one of those things where sometimes it's not just on paper and it looks good, it looks amazing, but sometimes, it just does not work like that. He wanted Timber for recovery pace, maybe. Our defense is lacking in that department, but we ended up signing a totally different defender in Martinez. 100%. You know, sometimes I try to question these things because it's like we're gonna blame him, but can we always just put the blame on him when we've seen the club make these same mistakes with other managers previously? This is the question I keep asking. You know, there is no accountability or ownership, so to speak, at United. Always the manager that is the fall guy. And this is my problem. You're 100% correct, Stephanie Griffith. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at this now, knowing that Sofian Amrabat's loan is going to be terminated, guys, people are gonna say, you know what, this manager has a failed talent ID. And that's gonna be a thing. You know what? He's a great coach, in my opinion. And if you want to say he has a failed talent ID, that's fine. We could get a sporting director to fix that. And if everyone believes a sporting director should be choosing the players anyway, then that's not an issue to even be talking about. You know, if you look at his performances at Ajax, and people would keep saying Ajax is in the Dutch league, but look what they did the 4 seasons that he was with them. They won the league in Ajax each time. They went in the Champions League deep in each cup. The teams performed really well. They were aggressive. They were never ending. They were always chasing the ball, always winning the ball high up. They were always passing and moving. They were really, really high energy teams that performed really well. And guys, as I segue into this, Paul Mitchell set to be appointed new sporting director at Manchester United. It has been reported by Manchester Evening News that Paul Mitchell is set to be announced before the game versus Spurs. No, there had been delay with Michael Ashworth and as well as CEO Blanc, because you know what? The Glazers did not approve of hiring Blanc as CEO. They want to keep John Murtaugh. So because Blanc is not coming at CEO, it's one of the reasons why I believe we are not going to get Dan Ashworth, because Dan Ashworth wants to have a certain level of control and a level of freedom to do what he wants to do. And I guess the only person that he trusts to give him that freedom was Blanc, because I guess he does not trust John Murtaugh to do a good job. Like, I would not trust John Murtaugh as much as I think it might negatively impact on Erik ten Hag. I would not give John Murtaugh any money this January window because this guy is an ultimate failure, a disgrace of a CEO. He's one of the worst things that ever happened to football in Manchester United's history. And I don't know what we're going to do and how we're going to get him out unless we get the Glazers out, guys. You know, so your thoughts, let me know what you're thinking. If Paul Mitchell is to be appointed sporting director at Man United, could he help Erik ten Hag turn things around? Will this be the boost that Erik ten Hag needs to form the structure that will suit this team and help take Manchester United forward? Guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for getting in the comments. It's been a short stream just to let you know these 2 bits of information that right now seem to be the most credible news going on about Manchester United and should be happening in the next few days. Hope you have a great day, guys. Join me again later on because I'm going to come back at 4 p.m. UK time with the transfer show. As you know, I always try to do those shows every day. Hope you have a great day. Until then, see you then, my guys. Thank you for Stephanie Griffith coming in. 4 likes. Thank you for all of those who've been watching and smash the like button. If you see this show after the live, come back and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, your criticisms, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Help the channel grow, guys. Hope you have a great day. Thank you all for joining me. Compo Smurf, big up to you, my buddy. Always seeing you every day. See you again for the transfer mark. Guys, catch you all later.